Alright, here we are, the WrestleMania review. Obviously a little delayed. I did watch it on Sunday night. I spent most of the time at my dad's, so I watched most of it there. I managed to come back here in time to finish everything out, so we'll get to that when we get to there. We got 14 matches to go through, so it's going to be a little long. And there was some reshuffling on the pre-show, so I'll cover that when we get to it. But our first match is the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match, Neville versus Austin Aries. Early on, there was some chain wrestling. Aries countered an arm drag into an armbar hold of his own. Neville actually countered that armbar into a head scissors. Aries tried to go for the last chancery right off the bat, but Neville just rolled out of the ring. Aries went for a suicide dive, but Neville countered that with a kick. They began brawling on the outside. Neville tossed Aries into the ring barricade, just sort of head first into it. Neville hit a bicycle kick in the corner. Neville went for a twisting moonsault from the second rope, but he was playing to the crowd a little bit beforehand. That gave Aries ample time to roll out of the way. Aries hit two suicide dives on him after that. Aries countered a superplex and hit a missile dropkick and got a 2 count. Neville tried to go into the Rings of Saturn, but Aries countered that into a crucifix pin for a 2 count. Aries hit the discus 5-arm and knocked Neville out of the ring. Neville kicked Aries back into the ring and then went to the top ropes. Aries hit the top ropes, causing Neville to fall down, and then hit a top rope Frankensteiner, and then hit a 450 for a 2 count. Aries went into the last chancery, but as he was in it, Neville tried to get to the ropes. He couldn't quite get to it, so Aries poked, Neville poked Aries in Aries' surgically repaired eye, and that got Neville to break the hold just long enough for Neville to then hit the red arrow for the 3 count. Neville retains. Really, really darn good match to start things off. I'm glad neither of them was too upset about having to be on the pre-show. Normally when that happens you get a very humdrum match, but this was a really good, solid match to start things off. So kudos to there. Okay, our next match is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Actually marked a couple of big things. There was a call-up from NXT, a brief call-up from NXT. Killian Dane of Sanity was in the match. They also had Tian Bing, who is their big Chinese signing. He's been working out in NXT. I don't know if he's had any matches. He hasn't had any televised matches yet, but so he was up there. Rob Gronkowski was in the crowd. Gee, I wonder if that might play a role in it with Mojo Rawley. Anyway, Strowman comes out and immediately eliminates one of the Shining Stars, Kalisto and Simon Gotch, and then Heath Slater. Big Show eliminated one of the Usos, Goldust, Connor from the Ascension, and then Strowman, basically the other members of the Battle Royal all ganged up on the big guys, tried to put them over the top rope. Strowman fought off his section, and he charged across and he took out Big Show. And then he took out Victor from the Ascension. Then the other guys all teamed up enough to eliminate Braun Strowman. And then something funny happened where the sound just dropped. It completely dropped in the middle of the match. I think they were trying to say, because they simulcast this portion on USA. I can't quite say that. It might be the case because then USA was cutting in for a commercial break. But I can't really confirm that. So, anyway, Ziggler eliminated R-Truth and Rhino. American Alpha eliminated Aiden English and Curtis Axel. American Alpha and then Breezango were eliminated. I did not see who eliminated them. They just kind of said who it was. Mark Henry was eliminated by Sami Zayn and Killian Dane. Ziggler eliminated Tian Bing. Ziggler eliminated Epico from the Shining Stars. Mojo Rawley eliminated Bo Dallas. Killian Dane eliminated Apollo Crews. Mojo Rawley eliminated Dolph Ziggler and Luke Harper. Zayn eliminated Titus O'Neil. Killian Dane eliminated Sami Zayn. And that left the final three were Killian Dane, Mojo Rawley, and Jinder Mahal. Mahal tossed Rawley out through the ropes instead of over the top rope, so Rawley was still in the match. Mahal went after Rawley, crawled through the ropes to go after Rawley. They then began to argue with Rawley's good friend, Rob Gronkowski, even spilling Gronkowski's drink on top of him. Gronk hopped the ring barricade, went after Mahal, basically shoulder tackled him. Mojo Rawley came in, eliminated Killian Dane after that, and then eliminated Jinder Mahal to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This is kind of a hard match to go through. I mean, it had its moments, but again, it's a Battle Royal, so there's only so much you could do to talk about it. Alright, our third pre-show match is not the SmackDown Women's Six-Pack Challenge. Yes, I was aware they announced that change basically right as I was starting to upload my predictions video to YouTube. They moved, there was some caterwauling about it on social media. They moved that to later in the show. As a result, the Intercontinental Championship match between Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin is the third match on the kickoff show. Right off the bat, Corbin just took the offense right to Ambrose. Ambrose managed to dodge away out of a charging Corbin, then hit a suicide dive. Corbin fought back, sent Ambrose into the ring post. Corbin hit an STO for a 2 count. Ambrose then fought back and sent Corbin into the ring post. Corbin countered an Ambrose top rope move into a body slam. Corbin countered a Dirty Deeds and then got tossed out by Ambrose. Corbin countered a Lunatic Lariat. Ambrose hit a suicide dive and then tossed Corbin into the ring steps. Ambrose countered a Deep 6. Eventually, Corbin hit a Deep 6 and got a 2 count, but Ambrose started to fight back again, and Corbin went for the end of days. Ambrose countered out of that, hit the Dirty Deeds for the 3 count and the win. Dean Ambrose retains. Yeah, this match was not spectacular. I can see why it was chosen to be moved to the pre-show. Okay, starting WrestleMania proper. Your hosts, The New Day, come out, and they were in Final Fantasy-inspired ring gear. And Michael Cole tried to play off that, oh yeah, I love Final Fantasy, I love Jogobos. Yeah, he said Jogobos, not Chocobos. You know, I don't hate Michael Cole. I'm one of the few people, I'm not saying I like him that much, but I will normally try to defend him a little bit, but yeah, this was bad even on his count. Anyway, our fourth match of the night, AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. Early on, Shane tried to go in through his MMA strikes and everything, but instead AJ countered that and tried to get some chain wrestling, which AJ was obviously a little bit better than Shane at. AJ countered a leapfrog into a snapmare takedown. Shane tried to go for an Oklahoma roll, but AJ got to the ropes. AJ hit a drop kick, sending Shane into the announce table, or over the announce table. Shane countered a phenomenal forearm by tripping AJ on the top rope. Shane began to rally with a series of punches and a flying elbow. AJ landed a Shigoroshi. AJ locked on the calf crusher, but Shane managed to counter this into a rear naked choke and then an armbar. AJ hit a top rope hangman. AJ went for a 450 splash. Shane countered that into a triangle choke. AJ fought out of that, went and hit kind of a half Styles Clash. Didn't quite get it full on. Only got a 2 count on it. AJ then hit an inadvertently a Pele kick to the ref. That's what happened. Ref was knocked out. AJ kind of went outside the ring, grabbed 2 garbage cans, tried to do the Van Terminator. Shane got out of the way. Shane hit a Van Terminator of his own, but only got a 2 count. Shane missed a flying elbow onto the announce table. This gave Styles some momentum to get back into the ring. Went for the phenomenal forearm, but Shane countered that, got into a body slam of his own. Then he went for a shooting star press, but AJ rolled out of the way at the last second. AJ then hit the phenomenal forearm for the 3 count and the victory. A better match than I thought it was going to be. I will say that. I wouldn't say it was a spectacular match, but it was at least decently entertaining. Okay, our next match is the United States Championship match. Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens. Right off the bat, Jericho tried to go for the walls of Jericho, but Owens got to the ropes. Jericho dropkicked Owens out of the ring. Owens hit a super kick to come back. Owens hit a cannonball on the ring apron. Jericho hit a flying crossbody and got a 2 count. Owens countered a code breaker into his underhook, not an underhook really, his cradle power bomb basically. Got a 2 count out of that. Owens countered a lion salt with a super kick. Both men hit several top rope counter moves. Owens went for a frog splash. Jericho got his knees up. Jericho went for a lion salt. Owens got his knees up. Owens went for another frog splash. Jericho rolled out of the way. Owens locked Jericho on the walls of Jericho, but Jericho managed to come out of that. Owens went for a cannonball. Jericho countered that into the walls of Jericho. Owens hit a pop-up powerbomb and got a 2 count. Jericho countered another powerbomb attempt into a code breaker and covers Owens. Owens just gets a finger on the rope to break it. My dad was watching the match with me. He's like, he could have gotten his whole hand on the rope. He didn't really need to do the finger. But I still think it was still a great move. Owens they started to brawl to the outside of the ring. Owens hit a pop-up powerbomb on the ring apron, rolled Jericho back into the ring, got the 3 count. Your new United States champion, Kevin Owens. Really good match. These 2 guys are great workers, so you knew this was probably going to be a good match. So, okay, our 6th match of the night. Yeah, we're really chugging along here. Is the Raw Women's Fatal 4-Way Elimination match. Bayley versus Sasha Banks versus Charlotte versus Nia Jax. Immediately, just as I predicted, the 3 smaller opponents ganged up on Nia Jax. Nia clotheslined all 3 of them at the same time, which was an incredible move. Nia hit a bonsai drop onto Bayley. Nia went for a bonsai drop onto Charlotte, but Sasha and Bayley came over. Charlotte managed to get up, and the 3 of them powerbombed Nia from the second rope, and then all 3 of them covered Nia to eliminate her. This allowed for some more fighting on the outside here. Charlotte hit a corkscrew moonsault to the outside of the ring. Sasha and Charlotte got back into the ring. Sasha countered a natural selection attempt into the bank statement, but Charlotte got to the ropes. She actually undid the second turnbuckle pad. Charlotte then catapulted Sasha into the exposed turnbuckle and rolled Sasha up for the 3 count. Sasha was eliminated. Charlotte tried to toss Bayley into the second turnbuckle. It didn't quite work. Bayley rolled away from a Charlotte moonsault attempt. Charlotte locked Bayley in the figure 4, tried to bridge it into the figure 8, but Bayley got to the ropes. They began fighting a bit. Bayley got stuck in the Tree of Woe. She back body dropped, but she fought out of it and managed to back body drop Charlotte off of the top rope. She then hit the Randy Savage flying elbow drop for the 3 count and the win. Bayley retains. Yeah, no Sasha heel turn. So, other than that, this was a decent enough match. There was a bit of scenes where there were parts where it's like, okay, they were just going to have 2 people kind of square off the ring, especially after Nia Jax was eliminated. But other than that, I wouldn't say this was bad by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, our next match is the Raw Tag Team Championship Triple Threat Ladder Match. Or is it? Because after the 3 teams come out, after the Enzo and Cass and Cesaro and Sheamus come out, the New Day comes out, and they said, we're going to make this match a fatal four-way, and the announcers are like, oh, they're going to put themselves in the match, what's going on? But wait, they're just standing there, what's going on? Who's the new fourth team to come out? And the Hardy Boys music hits. So yes, WrestleMania became broken, as I think it was Byron Saxton said. Immediately, the Hardys come out. They hit the poetry motion on both members of the club. The club go after the Hardys with the ladder. Cass knocked Cesaro off of a ladder. Cesaro did a double stomp off of a ladder onto Gallows and Anderson. Gallows and Cass... Oh boy, what did they... Oh, they sandwiched the Hardys in between two of the ladders. Sheamus brogue kicked Jeff Hardy off of the top rope. Enzo pushed Sheamus and Gallows from the ladder as they were brawling for the belts. Enzo started climbing the ladder. Cass got up under Enzo. They got up to the point they were just reaching for the belts. Sheamus interfered and knocked Cass from the ladder. Matt hit a twist of fate onto Carl Anderson from the ladder. Jeff did a swanton onto Cesaro and Sheamus, who were mounted on ladders, and that enabled Matt Hardy to pull down the belts. Your new Raw Tag Team Champions are the Hardys. Don't know if they seem to be playing a little bit of the broken Hardys shtick they were doing in TNA. Don't entirely know if that's the case. I know they did cut a promo afterwards. I have not seen this promo, though. I know it was on YouTube. But like I said, I haven't seen it, so I don't know if they're still doing the Broken Hardys thing just yet. As for the match overall, it was alright. Obviously, the only ones who are really... Well, Cesaro and Sheamus have competed in singles ladder matches and not in tag team ladder matches. But none of the other competitors had, except for the Hardys, of course. And I think that kind of showed because they just didn't know how to properly set up any major real spots off of the ladder, except for a few. Okay, our next match of the evening is the mixed tag team match, John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. For this, Jerry Lawler joined the commentary team. As Cena and Nikki came out, they pointed out that Cena's mother was in the crowd. He and Nikki both hugged and greeted her, so I'm guessing maybe he really was going to propose. Anyway, this was pretty much Miz and Cena throughout most of the match. Maurice hasn't wrestled, I think, in a competitive match in about, I want to say, 3 or 4 years. So yeah, I guess maybe they didn't want to get her too much action, but Maurice did get a cheap shot in on Cena right off the bat. Cena dodged a Miz corner clothesline, tried to go for the tag to Nikki, but Maurice pulled Nikki down from the ring apron. Miz then began mocking Daniel Bryan and then started landing the yes kicks. He was doing the yes, yes, yes pose, and then he hit a series of yes kicks on Cena. Eventually, Cena managed to fight back enough to get Nikki the hot tag. Nikki came out and was brawled with Maurice for a bit. Then she hit a suicide dive. Miz pushed Maurice out of the way and took it on his own. Nikki and Cena got Miz and Maurice into the ring, hit the AA and the Rack Attack 2.0, got the dual 3 count. No real shock that they win. And after the match, yes, John Cena did propose to Nikki. He even used her real name of Stephanie Nicole. So, yeah. Wasn't really expecting much of this match to begin with. The massive public wedding proposal was really tacky. That's all I can really say about it. Okay, our next match is the unsanctioned, even though they had a contract for it, match between Triple H and Seth Rollins. Stephanie and Triple H's entrance was a little more subdued this year. They basically had a police escort and they came down on a motorcycle. Yeah, not quite the elaborate Terminator or the whatever it was they did last year, where Steph was some sort of weird. Anyway, Rollins comes down carrying a torch and metaphorically sets the entrance ramp on fire. Rollins also had this sort of all-gold outfit. Rollins hit a one-legged dropkick on Triple H and sent Triple H into the ring post. Rollins clotheslined Triple H over the barricade. Triple H fought back, hit a DDT on the German announce table. Triple H then began targeting Rollins' knee with a chair. Rollins hit a flatliner on this into the second turnbuckle. Rollins tried to do his sunset flip powerbomb, but tweaked his knee in the process. Rollins countered a pedigree into a buckle bomb. He desperately got this buckle bomb up here, but again, Rollins' knee kind of started to fluctuate a bit. Rollins hit a superplex into a Falcon Arrow and got a 2 count. At this point, Steph started to interfere. Steph pulled Rollins as he was standing on the top rope. This enabled Triple H to lock on a knee bar. They then fought to the outside of the ring. Triple H locked on a knee bar again. Rollins desperately started reaching under the ring apron and pulling things out. Pulled out the sledgehammer and threw it away near to Triple H. It was not a very well-timed spot at all. Triple H got the sledgehammer. Triple H didn't get to hit him, though. He managed to fight out of it. Triple H hit a pedigree, got a 2 count on it. Rollins countered it, and then Triple H went for a top rope pedigree. Rollins countered out of that, hit the Phoenix Splash, and got a 2 count. At this point, Steph got back into the ring, started, basically held Rollins in such a manner that she would, that he couldn't move. Triple H charged, Rollins ducked out of the way. Triple H just stopped short of hitting Stephanie. This enabled Rollins to get one last super kick in, knocking Triple H back into Stephanie. Stephanie was sent through a table that had been set up on the outside of the ring earlier. Rollins then hit the pedigree, got the 3 count, and the victory. This match was really slow-moving at a few points. I think that slow-moving didn't help because pretty much the entire audience and even myself thought, oh, well, okay, this is where someone's going to do a run. We're going to see Joe soon. We're going to see Samoa Joe, right? No? Okay. Okay, well, someone's going to interfere now, right? No? Okay. I really wish they had maybe tightened this up a little bit. You know, maybe eliminated a couple of the rest hold spots. Just a little bit. Just something, yeah. Maybe done this, the Stephanie spot a little earlier in the match. Could have helped a bit. Okay, at this point they had the musical performance by Pitbull and Flo Rida and other guys. I don't really know who they are. So I took that opportunity to leave my dad's and come back home. Got back just as the vignette for the next match, the World Championship match, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. The vignette was coming to an end, so I got to see this match in its entirety. Right off the bat, Orton went right into a Thez press and started, right after the bell, he hit a Thez press and started pounding Wyatt into the mat. Bray Wyatt then magically projected maggots onto the ring. Basically, you saw this big top-down shot of the ring, and then suddenly Orton's standing there, and he looks around, and there's all these maggots being sort of, like I said, rear projected onto the ring. That distracted Orton long enough for Wyatt to go for Sister Abigail, but Orton blocked it and went for the RKO, but Wyatt blocked that. Bray hit a big corner splash, then started to do a spider walk again, and we had worms projected into the ring. Again, much like the Maze, this top-down shot of the ring with worms inside. This enabled Bray, this distracted Orton long enough. Bray hit a Uranagi and a senton combo for a 2. They brawled to the outside. Bray hit a Sister Abigail into the ring barricade. Looked like everything was... he rolls Orton back into the ring. Orton manages to just roll out. Wyatt goes after Orton. Orton hits an RKO on the outside of the ring. Orton rolls Wyatt back into the ring. Goes for the cover, but Orton, it was too late, too long, and Wyatt was able to recover and kick out. Orton went for the punt kick. Wyatt dodged out of that. Orton countered his sister Abigail into a backbreaker. At this point, they were lying in the ring. Orton countered an RKO into his sister Abigail and got a two. Oh no, Wyatt countered an RKO into his sister Abigail, got a 2 count. Wyatt went to his little spider walk pose, and that projected cockroaches into the ring. It did seem to phase Orton, though, as he immediately got up and hit the RKO onto Bray Wyatt for the 3 count and the victory. Randy Orton finally wins the World Championship at WrestleMania. As I said before, he had only gone for it one other time, that was against Triple H, and he didn't win that. He has defended the World Championship at WrestleMania, but he hadn't won it until, last night. As for the match itself, it'd be obviously, it was okay. The goofy antics with the rear projection probably tipped this a bit more into the memorable part of the category, I guess. Okay, our next match is the Universal Championship match, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Again, I think Undefeated ran a poll going into the match. What was going to be longer, Heyman's introductory speech or the match itself? I think the match just barely got longer than the introductory speech. Immediately, Lesnar hit Goldberg with 3 German suplexes. Lesnar got a little too cocky and started to celebrate. Goldberg got up and immediately speared Lesnar. And then he speared Lesnar again. Lesnar rolled out of the ring. Goldberg then speared Lesnar through the barricade. Bit of a rest spot going into this. Goldberg got Lesnar back in the ring, went for the jackhammer. He went for the jackhammer, but Lesnar countered out of that. Went for the F5, but Goldberg countered out of that. Hit a spear, got the jackhammer, only got a 2 count out of it. Goldberg went for another spear. Lesnar dodged it. Goldberg hit the ring post. Lesnar then proceeded to hit 7 more German suplexes, then the F5 for the 3 count. Your new Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. Now, I will say this. The match was better than I thought it was going to be. Mainly for all the high-impact spots they were able to string together. But, again, the match barely exceeded expectations in this case. Okay, our second to last match of the night. The SmackDown Women's Championship 6-Pack Challenge. Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch versus Carmella versus Mickie James versus Natalya versus Naomi. Again, much like the previous match, there's a lot of fast action in this one. A lot of high-impact spots. Naomi hit Natalya with a Hurricane Rana right off the bat. Becky hit Carmella with the Bexploder suplex. Carmella hit a top rope head scissors onto Becky. Got a 2 count out of it. This is when James Ellsworth decided to insert himself in the match. Becky hit the Bexploder on Ellsworth. There's a lot of stuff to the outside, too. Naomi and Natalya hit a sunset flip German suplex combo on Becky Lynch. Natalya locked a double sharpshooter on Naomi and Carmella. Alexa Bliss got in the ring. Alexa Bliss was always, every time there was a pin count going on, Alexa Bliss was going in there, breaking it up. Naomi hit Alexa with the rear view. That time, I think Carmella broke the pin up. But eventually, Naomi got a 2-leg takedown, and Alexa got a 2-leg takedown on Naomi, went for a jackknife cover. Naomi countered that into an Anaconda Vice, and Alexa tapped out. Got the victory. Your new women's champion, Naomi, in WrestleMania, her hometown. So, yeah, good. Like I said, another match. Again, with how short this was, I could see why it was initially on the pre-show. It was a good respite match. You got the good, like I said, good, decent action throughout. It was tightly paced. One wonders maybe again if they just shortened down that Triple H Seth Rollins match just a little bit, they could have maybe let this one expand out and breathe a little bit more. But other than that, I'm not going to say it was a bad match. It was actually quite enjoyable. And after that, the New Day came out once more and announced the attendance record. It was like 75,000 something. Yeah. Okay, I just really wanted to put the last match of the night onto a full sheet of paper for my notes. And now, our main event of the evening, Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker, with special guest commentator, Jim Ross. Jim Ross joined JBL and Michael Cole at the announce table. They acknowledged that, obviously, Jim has had some problems in the last week or so. It was nice to see him. He got a great welcome. No offense to JBL and Michael Cole, I kind of wish Corey Graves was actually calling the match with Jim Ross. I think that would have been a cool combination to see. Anyway, they made the match no DQ, no count out. There had to be a winner by pinfall or submission. Right off the bat, Taker tossed Reigns out of the ring and said, "This is my yard." Then Taker did it again, said, "This is my yard" once again. At this point, Reigns knocked Taker out of the ring, but did not proclaim the ring to be his yard. They began brawling into the outside. Taker whipped Reigns into the ring steps. Reigns came in and hit the one-arm Samoan drop on Taker, and I think he tweaked his shoulder, because the rest of the match, he was kind of silly doing this, which is kind of that little, you tweaked the nerve in there and your hand went dead. Taker hit his snake eyes and followed it up with a big boot. Reigns went for a Superman punch, but Taker countered that with a jab. They fought again to the outside. Taker chokeslammed Reigns on the German announce table, but then Reigns got up and speared Taker through the Spanish announce table. Basically, Taker was standing up on the ordinary announce table. Reigns charged across and speared Taker through the next announce table that was next to it. Reigns pounds on Taker with a chair. But eventually Reigns pounded on Taker in the corner, did the 10 punch, but Taker countered that into a last ride, got a 2 count. Taker then got the chair of his own, countered a Superman punch with a choke slam onto the chair, then hit a tombstone and only got a 2 count, and at this point the crowd started chanting BS. Well, they did count BS, but I'm not going to say what it was they were chanting. Reigns countered a tombstone. This was a weird spot. I think what they were trying to do is they were having Reigns counter a tombstone into a tombstone of his own. But I don't know if it's as much. Taker's back gave out, and he couldn't quite get the full flip over to enable Reigns to completely pick him up. But they had to change the spot into a Superman punch and got a 2 count out of it. Reigns spears Taker, but then Taker countered that into a Hell's Gate before Reigns could do the cover. Reigns managed to just barely get to the ropes, which shouldn't work in a no DQ match. There shouldn't be rope breaks. But Reigns went after Taker with the chair, speared him again, got a 2 count. Reigns hit another spear, got a 2 count. At this point, Reigns is just getting angrier and angrier, and he's just like, "Stay down." This is eerily similar to the second Taker-Shawn Michaels match, where the whole time Taker's just saying, stay down, stop trying to fight back. It's best if you just stay down. Eventually, Reigns hit a Superman punch. Taker rises, started to do the sit up, started to get back up, but immediately fell back down again. Reigns is saying, "Stay down now, please, just stay down. I don't want this to go on any longer." Excuse me. At this point, Reigns then did a crisscross, hit the ropes, hit the ropes, hit the ropes, hit the ropes, and hit one last spear, got the 3 count, and the victory. Reigns kind of immediately just got out of the ring at that point. Did a minor celebration, walked up the ramp, did one more celebration, pyro goes off, Taker just sits in the ring, the lights come down a little bit, the Taker's music starts. Eventually he sits back up, he gets up, he gets his ring jacket, he gets his jacket, he gets the hat, he then stands in the ring, and then he takes off his MMA gloves. He puts them down. He takes off the coat, he puts it down. He folds it, he puts it down. He takes off the hat, and he puts that down. And he got out of the ring, and his wife Michelle was in the audience, and he kissed her. And if you know anything about the real Mark Calloway, you know he's very protective of that Undertaker gimmick. He doesn't like dropping that veil too often, but yeah, this was pretty much the indicator that this was Undertaker's last match. As for the match itself, well, like I said, there were a few blown spots in this. I think that kind of dragged this down. Yeah, I don't think they really should have gone for the tried to counter a tombstone into a tombstone move. Obviously, I don't think Taker's back was up for something like that. There was another point, too. Like, I think Reigns was supposed to hit, I can't remember if it was a Superman punch or a spear, but Taker couldn't quite get the timing right on it. It really does make sense this was Taker's last match, because I don't think he just, it was painfully obvious he really could not go too much longer. A nice ending, though. I'm not going to, like I said, the match was taken down a few notches, but I'm not going to say it was a bad match. It was still pretty enjoyable, especially getting Jim Ross back for the call. Okay, overall thoughts on the show. Well, you know, for the most part, I really liked the show. Most of the matches were really good. I mean, the only ones I would say were underwhelming were the Intercontinental Championship match, the ladder match. Not really underwhelming. I mean, obviously, Rollins and Triple H went a little too long. And, shoot. The Orton-Wyatt match, again, I wouldn't say it was necessarily bad, but it just kind of went even. It was pretty even keel. So, again, out of a 13-match card, that's still 9 pretty good matches. Like I said, my expectations were not exactly high for Lesnar Goldberg or the mixed gender tag match. So, yeah, again, I think I just give this a B overall. It was definitely better than last year's WrestleMania, which, in retrospect, I was a little too kind on giving that a C. I should have probably dropped that down to a D. But, anyway, I said this one's a B, so. Okay, well, let's see, I think the next video might be a movie review. Depending on how things shake out this weekend, I might go see Smurfs: The Lost Village. That's not entirely set in stone. I am still in the middle of scripting the next episode of the Random Trade Review. Got 2 parts to cover in there, so see you all next time.